As the Marvel Cinematic Universe gears up for the release of Spider-Man, Brand New Day, anticipation continues to build about who Tom Holland's Peter Parker might face next. After the multiversal madness of No Way Home, which saw Willem Dafoe return as the Green Goblin from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, fans are buzzing about whether the MCU will finally introduce its own version of Norman Osborn, and all signs point to yes. According to insider Daniel Richtman, via comicbookmovie.com, Marvel is preparing to unveil a fresh take on the infamous Green Goblin within the main MCU timeline. This would mark a pivotal shift, as the franchise has previously avoided rebooting legacy villains who already had significant roles in Sony's earlier Spider-Man films. If true, this would give the MCU its first original Norman Osborn, one disconnected from Raimi's and Mark Webb's universes. Despite fan excitement, the idea of another Green Goblin has also drawn skepticism. After all, the character has been portrayed in nearly every Spider-Man iteration on screen. From Dafoe's unhinged menace to the tragic arc of Harry Osborn in Spider-Man 3, the Goblin has left an indelible mark. However, DC's latest Superman film has set a precedent. Villains with long cinematic histories can be reinvented successfully. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor proved that a fresh portrayal can still feel engaging, even when the character has been done to death. This paves the way for the MCU to take a bolder, more comic-accurate approach. Raimi's and Webb's films opted for armored, tactical looks over the classic scaly green bodysuit and purple tunic. But Marvel's recent willingness to embrace comic book camp could finally give Norman Osborn his goblin mask and glider in full comic glory. Moreover, the MCU's narrative flexibility opens doors for intriguing plot twists. In No Way Home, Norman stated that Oscorp didn't exist in the MCU. However, this could change. What if the tech he left behind, his glider or mask, became the catalyst for Oscorp's founding? A new Norman could reverse-engineer that tech, leading to a different origin for Green Goblin. That twist would tie the multiversal chaos of No Way Home directly into the MCU's future. There's also narrative potential in Peter Parker's residual trauma. Having lost Aunt May to a variant of Norman, Peter could distrust the new Osborn, even if he appears harmless. This setup might allow Marvel to subvert expectations. What if the MCU's Norman starts as a well-meaning figure, similar to the Gold Goblin redemption arc from recent comics? Peter's paranoia could be the very force that drives him to villainy, flipping the script on the Mysterio plot from Far From Home. But the Goblin mythos isn't limited to Norman Osborn. The MCU could introduce other Goblin-themed antagonists like Hobgoblin or Demogoblin. One fan theory even ties Peter's best friend Ned Leeds to this lineage. A throwaway line in No Way Home had Ned joking that he wouldn't turn into a villain and kill Peter. But in the comics, Ned becomes Hobgoblin after being manipulated and brainwashed, possibly foreshadowing a future betrayal. With Ned now a tech-savvy student accepted to MIT, working for an Oscorp-like company isn't far-fetched. Demogoblin offers another unique angle, combining goblin lore with dark magic. Unlike prior Spider-Man film franchises, the MCU already blends science fiction with mysticism, making such a character feel right at home. Whether it's Demogoblin, Queen Goblin, or even a new version of Harry Osborn, the possibilities are endless. Ultimately, if the MCU does reintroduce Green Goblin, it doesn't have to be a rehash of past performances. With smarter writing and a deeper understanding of Peter Parker's emotional scars post-No Way Home, Marvel could reshape Norman Osborn into something both familiar and thrillingly new. And as Superman just proved, even the most iconic villains still have unexplored layers worth digging into.